G'day ladies and gents, and welcome back to Cold Waters with Mags. Hot on the heels from our last episode, we have been immediately intercepted by a nasty little anti-submarine warfare fleet following a engagement with a pair of submarines, and this one, well, we're running out of weapons. That's our problem right now. We really are actually running into a few issues. We really don't have the weapons for this. I'm just checking out what we've got. Kotlin, Donkey radar, Bucktoe passive, the potties, 38 knots, 38. Everything here can outrun our torpedoes. Everything.
Come left to 290 L-high.
So we're holding 50 feet at the moment. Apparently 12 out. So what we're going to do is get ourselves straight up to the surface. And we're going to pop the periscope while we're far enough out that hopefully we won't be detected, or at least not straight away. Although they do have Donkey radar, so we're probably going to get detected here. But I want exact locations on these guys, and I do actually want them to charge me a bit if we can. Alright, so Sierra 1 is currently 287 bearing. Alright. See it. It's 285 now, so it should be right in front of me. It's not where it says it is. That one is at 302. And again, conditions-wise, we can't actually... Yeah, we cannot see.
Con sonar neutral.
And we got a Sierra 4 in there as well. Fuck it, I don't care. I don't care if they know where we are. I want them to charge me. So, radar up. Let's sort this out in one big hit.
Con sonar master board.
Trawler, Kotlin, potty. Locations are now confirmed. Radar down. Set depth. 200 feet. What do we got? Conditions. Make it 250. Let's get below the layer. Kilojoules. It's turning directly onto us. Gonna make the shot in a second, and torpedo away. I can't fire those below 180 feet. Which we're now past, so that was a last minute shot. Hopefully the potty maintains course and that runs straight into its nose. That'll be nice. It looks like the Kotlin's turning in our direction. I have no idea what the other potty's doing. I just hope that one just stays. It probably won't, but that's alright. So we'll let that and see how it goes, and then see how the rest of these are going to react, because I need them to close in close enough that I can actually get them with a spread of Mark 37s to be able to take them down. The problem is we've got 3 ships here. All 3 ships are fully capable of outrunning my torpedoes. And I've only got 3 in the tubes and 1 remaining. Generally it takes at least 2 to sink a ship. If that Mark 16 hits, That'll make my life so much easier. But if it doesn't, yeah, if it doesn't, I'm not so sure I've got enough ordnance here to actually be able to take these guys out. And they can run faster than I can underwater, so they can maintain a constant track on me if I try to run. Although I can put this thing down at 1,000 feet and make life difficult for them. Looks like that could be okay, actually. We'll do a little time acceleration here and speed things up. See what comes of it. No, the poddy's changing course slightly. That's not going to hit at all. 12.4.
Con sonar lost contact. Master 4. Last bearing 2.
Right, lost contact with the trawler. That's fine. I don't mind that so much. That's fine. Now, how are we going to do this? All right, so I'm going to have to double launch torpedoes. Troop 2 is away. Troop 4 is away. Back to Tube 2. Poddy's going to come straight for me, I know it is, so that's not a problem. It's whether or not I can get it in this web is the question. And the poddy's turning. Poddy's fired a torpedo. I reckon it just encountered the Mark 16. I reckon that's a defensive turn against the Mark 16 on the off chance that it's a Mark 37. That's fine. That gives me a bit of time to get my actual torpedoes that are going to kill it out and away from the submarine. Active torpedoes in the water. Change the course of both of these. That's 2 down, and they're going to run for a while, so I might actually have to shift my depth here. Go to 600, and hope that won't interfere with the wires too much. Just about time to turn one in, and we'll let this one ride out a little longer just yet. Alright. So, turning 4 to go pretty much directly north. We'll shift back to Tube 2. Now in this position it shouldn't matter which way the poddy goes to turn. If it turns left or right, it should still run into a torpedo. It shouldn't be able to evade both at the same time.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 278.
going to turn back. It's still got a window here that it could potentially dodge.
Con sonar, noisemaker, bearing 278.
What the hell did it just do? Did it just do a donut?
Con, fire
Like
control,
directly
weapon acquired.
on the spot? Span around? Because it looked like it turned... Yeah, it turned in an area about that small. And did so without slowing down, maintaining 33 knots at all times. Alright, so we're going to try and cut it off here.
Noisemaker, bearing 278.
God damn it.
Con, fire control, weapon countermeasure on.
When the ships can turn so fast and so hard that they outturn the torpedoes designed to sink them.
Noisemaker, bearing
And that's what it's just done.
6.
It's managed to loop so we're both on one side. If it runs in a straight line now, my torpedoes will never catch it.
Weapon acquired. Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Come on, hit. Hit. Missed. It is outturning torpedoes. This is exactly what I was afraid of. I'm so low on ordnance I can't afford to spam another torpedo in. Thank Christ. Alright, remaining torpedo. Turn away from the wreck. Turn away from the wreck. Alright. The insanity of the 1968 campaign. Okay, so that's one down. Cotlin's next. We have an active torpedo, so we're just going to send that straight after the Cotlin. The other potty is just dicking around up in the north over here, so I'm going to let it continue doing exactly that and not interfere with it at all. I'm still fairly certain that I'm not going to be able to get both of these ships, or get all of these ships with this number of weapons. So I'm going to have to disengage at some point, but I need to shrink the number of ships that can potentially track me. If I can get 2 of them, I'm pretty happy. Alright, so...
Con, torpedo room, tube 4 ready.
Ah. Alright, so we're almost here on the Cotlin. Now, the Cotlin's only maintaining 9 knots. There's no way known she's not going to hear this torpedo coming in. At least I'm pretty sure there's no way she known that she should not hear this torpedo coming in. So she's likely doing an about face. And as you saw before, there's a problem with the physics of the ships in cold waters. And there always has been. And it's one that is a serious overlook for the 1968 campaign. The surface ships have no physics. They do not have to slow down at all when cornering, so they can maintain a perfect flank speed with no problems whatsoever while doing a hard rudder over in a tight enough turning circle that your torpedoes struggle to turn at an equal rate. This shouldn't be possible, but it is, and this is why the surface ships in cold waters are so much of a pain in the ass to deal with. Dealing with the slow torpedoes is a big enough of an issue. The fact that there is no reason for them to ever slow down, and nothing that can make them slow down, including turning, just makes matters even worse. Although he's not. No, he's starting to turn. You can see the turn away now. He's making the turn to the right. 12 knots. He's starting to accelerate. 15 knots. 18 knots. I'm going to go active on this torpedo. We've just lost the target. The Cotland is somewhere around about here. It's entirely possible, there it is, Noisemaker has been deployed. It's probably already completed a 180. It is entirely possible at this point in time that the Cotland could actually turn around and then outrun our torpedo by accelerating away from it, and we'll never actually get 100% lock on it. I'm guesstimating at the moment that it's actually at about here. It does appear to be turning back at us though. I reckon we may be just about to detect it. Continues that. There it is. We've got it. Now we've only got one torpedo to work with here, so I'm going to have to pay some very close attention to what's going on. And Cotland's turning away, maintaining 31 knots. And there's the countermeasure. Which way is it going to turn? It's starting to turn back. That's not going to last. It's going to turn in the other direction, I reckon. No. Not directly at it. Not directly at it, torpedo. Just keep closing in. Cotland's starting to reverse its turn now. It's going to turn directly in front of the torpedo we've just acquired. We're close enough inside that we are inside of the countermeasure, so the countermeasure does absolutely nothing. Cotland is at 35 knots. And beginning its turn. So turning in, now the Cotland's going to reverse its turn. Now we've pulled off its tail, or it usually would. There's the reverse of the turn, it's going straight. And now it's turning. I think I can. No, I can't. No! No, don't turn in, just run straight. Another thing I'd like to see in cold water is the ability to completely override the weapons tracking and completely go 100% manual on the guidance. Because we probably could have just had him just then, but that torpedo turned the last second and it cost us speed. Unfortunately, there is no way to actually turn torpedo guidance off. So you cannot go full manual on the torpedoes. Which is why I've got to constantly turn the torpedo and fight it, because it's trying to turn on a path that I do not want it to turn. Do not turn. No. If anyone thinks this is ridiculous, put it in the comment section down below and make sure it's really clear, because I know the devs for Cold Waters do watch the Cold Waters videos, and I'm really hoping some of those guys who actually have the IP for this pay attention, because it's stuff like this that'll catch you out. Maybe this time. Got him! Finally. Alright. So, that's 2. And we have 2 Mark 37s left. You know what? I'm actually going to take a swing at the potty. The last one. Alright, so first things first though, I want to find out exactly where this goddamn thing is. So, let's go back to the surface. And I'm just going to pop a radar on it, because again, I want the potty to close on my location. I am not fast enough to close on it, but it's quite fast enough to close on me. So if I can give it my location and then set myself up into a position to fire on it, the chances of me actually killing it are much higher than me trying to lob torpedoes at range and hope that the ship that basically has extrasensory perception when it comes to torpedoes doesn't happen to detect the torpedoes that I'm firing at it.
Sonar regained contact on Master 4, bearing 300.
Alright, so back at periscope depth. Let's find out where everything is. And there she is. Range 17.
Come right to 308 helm high.
Currently doing 20 knots. So let's line up right on her. And a targeting vector is going to line up with us. Yep, she's got us zeroed in. Yep, we are zeroed in. She's at 20 knots. I'd like her to be faster, but I'll work with 20 knots. Alright, so we're at 45 feet. Speed is 5 knots. And she's just close enough. These could potentially hit. Last 2 Mark 16s are now in the water. Alright, those are looking pretty good. Those are looking pretty good indeed. And we just lost contact with both of them, but we still have the potty. Pull down our radar, because I'm expecting counterfire torpedoes any second now. Potty's still maintaining 20 knots. We've got no visual on the torpedoes, or no contact with the torpedoes anymore. She is active. I'm going to slip us down to 250 feet, so we're just below the layer. Now we can see our torpedoes there, but we don't actually have contact with them, so we've got no details at this point. Potty, however, has detected them and is maneuvering. and has just panic fired its own torpedoes. And it looks like the estimations were wrong and our torpedoes absolutely were out of range. Both detonated short of target. And detected with more than enough distance for the potty to be able to outmaneuver them, as always. Anything with a sonar, it's almost impossible to get Mark 16s into, unless you're really lucky. They've got to be running at flank speed, otherwise they can hear them. See, I can ping back too. Come on, I need you to come this way. So range is still 11. Actually, when I think about it, it is probably best to turn back onto target right now rather than trying to run parallel, because I'm not trying to evade at this point. Set the last 2 torpedoes to surface running. And this is it. We have no more weapons after this. Nothing is in storage. Just the 2 in the tubes. So if these wires break or anything else goes wrong, we're done. We have no weapons left to be able to engage in this fight. So I'm just going to wait till we're completely nose on with target. And I'm going to launch them with active tracking, and I'm going to launch them directly towards the potty as well. So if the wire does break, the torpedoes are at least heading in the right direction, although there's almost no chance of them making contact without guidance. At the very least, they're heading in the right direction. Tube 1 is clear. That is tube 2 clear. Well, that's a start. Alright, so let's turn tube 2 that way, and let's shift tube 1 directly to the north and start our net all over again. That's a torpedo the potty fired before, doing its thing, so that's fine. Exactly what was expected. Maneuvers, what's our range? Range is 6.9. 6.9. I don't like how close we are. I do not like how close we are. It's too close. Too close for the net to get the right angles that I want on this potty, so it can't easily escape. But it's still continuing in. Torpedo 1 has gone active, so torpedo 1 is now easier to detect, so I'm going to send it directly west, and we're going to turn torpedo 2 north and activate, and they can start closing in, and then I'll change directions on the torps in just a moment. Actually, we should probably tune 1 down a little, and 2 is about to activate. About there looks good, I think, just for the moment. Poddy's starting to turn.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 3.
Poddy's turning real hard. It's detected the torpedoes. Sorry for using the time acceleration here so much, but if we don't, it will take so long to actually manage to catch these things just because of how fast they are. The Poddy's going all over the place with its evasion at the moment. Even though the torpedoes are out of detection range.
Noisemaker bearing 3, 1, 2.
Alright, one from the north.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Turn 2 in for a cutoff. I don't know whether or not we'll be able to cut.
Bearing 3, 1, 4. Con, fire control, weapon countermeasure.
And everything is now tied up with the countermeasures. So I'm using torpedo 1 to steer the Poddy.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired. Con, fire control, weapon countermeasure homing.
And torpedo 2 is not going to turn in enough because the Poddy's circling over its own countermeasures, which is what's going to cause us the problem here.
Noisemaker bearing.
But we may be able to intercept it with torpedo 1. Poddy's turning in the other direction. I need to give it a reason to turn back, so that is torpedoes 2's job. Actually, no, we'll run torpedo 2 as it is, turn torpedo 1 in.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Keep it ahead, keep it ahead. And somehow we missed. Somehow torpedo 2
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 3.
just went directly underneath the ship. Well, we might have got it this time. Yep, we did. We got it this time. Alright, so torpedo 1 actually hit the target. Now I'm just going to turn torpedo 2 back so it acquires and detonates against the hull so we don't have a live weapon in the water. And that should be it. Anti-submarine warfare fleet has been dealt with. And our last torpedo has been put to work. And there we have it. Now we have to go back to port. We have no weapons whatsoever for any encounter of any kind left on this submarine. And we've still got to cross the entirety of the North Sea. Alright, leave combat. So, 2 Poddies and a Cotland sunk, and we have nothing left. And we're going to get told to get back on. Excellent results. However, this was not your mission objective. I know our mission objective is to go and get more torpedoes. I'm trying. Trust me, I'm trying. Anyways, guys, it looks like we may have a clear one run across the Norwegian Sea this time, so we'll be able to get ourselves down to Holy Lock. So I'm going to bring this episode to a close. Hope everyone's having a fantastic Christmas. Alright, so 25 days at war. God, it feels longer than that. Missions accomplished 10. Capital ship sunk 1, while the warship sunk 15. Submarine sunk 14. Merchant sunk 11. Total 41 for 201,280 tons. And we can finally reload the sub. Oh, great. We're being sent out to sink an anti-submarine warfare fleet. Well, the next mission's going to be fun. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this one, and thank you very much for watching. As always, Cold Waters will be returning to the channel very soon, and until next time, remember to click that like button if you did, share and subscribe if you would like to see more, and as always, take care.